is I want to welcome you all to our insurance call for the Advantage Group. Dave Savola, the #1 income earner in prepaid legal, is traveling this morning, so I'm going to be co-hosting the call with Jeff Keeble, one of our top executive directors out of the Atlanta market. My name is Rick Johnson. I've been in prepaid legal about 14 years here in the Dallas area, and we've been I actually came out of the insurance background. I had a property and casualty business, and I'd heard about prepaid legal back as far as the 80s, and even in the early 90s I'd heard about it. And what had happened to me was I'd heard just enough about it to say no, and not enough about it to say yes. And actually what happened is a business consultant, a friend of mine, a business associate, actually talked to me about prepaid, and he really impressed on me the fact that if I knew as much about prepaid as I thought I did, I'd be marketing that as a product in my insurance business. And so he actually encouraged me to meet Mark Brown, who at that time was an associate working in the Dallas-Fort Worth market area, and he had developed a business over a period of 12 months that he had a full-time income in prepaid legal, and had developed it at a very, very fast pace. And he got me to sit down with him. Today, Mr. Brown is the co-chief executive officer of our company, but he started in Dallas as an associate like all of us have done. And it was he that made me realize that everybody in this country was going to own this product. It was just a question of who they were going to buy it from. Reason, common sense, pride. A product that whether you're 18 or 80 you could afford to own. A little background on prepaid legal. We're a company that is almost 40 years old today, so we've got a lot of history in this business. We've got the checks and balances in place to make this product work. We're located in a little town called Ada, Oklahoma. It's about 90 miles southeast of Oklahoma City. We've got almost a 200,000 square foot, 6-story home office, so we're a rock-solid brick-and-mortar company. And the good news for insurance agents, I've been through that building many times, and there is no underwriting department in that building. And that simply tells you this, that every time you put pen to paper, you're going to get paid. That means it's a guaranteed issue product with little or no service work and no claims forms. And so those are some of the positive things that I saw in prepaid legal. But I also saw in prepaid legal a company that was publicly traded. We've been traded on the New York Stock Exchange since May of 1999. So we're an open book. Our stock is right around $64 today, which is one of the highest, as high as it's ever been in a down economy. Our company is still there, and it just simply proves that we've got a common sense product that not only does it work, but that people during tough times can have the ability to contact an attorney. And the good news is you're covered from beginning from $1. In other words, there is no copay in prepaid legal. And we also handle pre-existing conditions in prepaid legal. And part of the biggest problem is knowing what your rights are. And our founder and chief executive officer at one time said the most important thing is, he said, if you don't know what your rights are, you don't have any rights. And today, law firms, lawyers have gotten themselves so expensive, $200 to $300 an hour in most metropolitan areas today, that most people can't even think of picking up the phone and calling a law firm or talking to a law firm because of the fear of what it's going to cost. So what prepaid did and what our founder, Mr. Stonecipher, put together was a common sense product, a product that we can take and work with some of the largest and oldest law firms in the North America. Now, I should point out that that was a concern I had when I first started. This product, when I started, sold for $25 a month. Today we have added 24/7 access to the law firms for an extra $1. So today that membership sells for $26 a month. There's no contract. You can start right where you're at, and you can keep it as long as you want to have it. But we handle pre-existing conditions. And one of the things that we do is we handle situations, basically any type of pre-existing condition. And one of the problems we need to solve is getting consultation, finding what our rights are. And consultation is covered under the pre-existing part of our product. Even though you already had the problem before you bought the membership, you can actually get help with a pre-existing condition. And the help is consultation, but more important than that, we'll also take and write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf to try to resolve the issue. Another thing that we do is we do document review. We'll review documents up to 10 pages. And how many times have you asked yourself, well, I should have had an attorney review this before I signed it? And, of course, the majority of us don't get that done because, again, fear of cost. But with a prepaid legal plan, every document you have, you can get reviewed prior to signing it. Find out where the gotchas are in that agreement. Another thing that we do is we provide a will. You know, in the richest country in the world, 80% of North Americans do not have a will. 85% of them do not have a health directive, and another 85% do not have a durable power of attorney. They haven't appointed anybody to be their caretaker in case they're incapacitated due to accident or sickness. And that means if you don't have the proper legal paperwork in play and have appointed that individual and provided the legal paperwork, you've got a problem, and that problem is simply this. Some judge in some courthouse in a black robe somewhere is going to have to appoint that person when he gets around to it. Now, you better hope that they appoint the same person you would have appointed, because they're going to be handling your financial and medical decisions for you. And once again, if the legal paperwork isn't in play, hospitals, banks, the people that they're going to have to deal with are not going to take and recognize them. So important to get that part of it done, and that's all covered under the prepaid legal basic membership, no additional cost part of the plan. We'll not only do that for the member, but we'll do it for the member's spouse as well. Another thing that we do is we put a wall of protection around you when you're driving your automobile. You know, one thing is that, we all know that speeding tickets affect our driving record in a negative impact, and they create a negative impact on our auto insurance rates. And one of the things that I wanted to protect my clients against was having their insurance upgraded or even possibility of cancellation due to mom getting a ticket, dad getting a ticket. Pretty soon Johnny's got one, and before long they're re-underwriting that book of business. So what we do is show them how they could provide coverage, and what prepaid does is works through the court system to keep that driving record clear and keep that ticket off your driving record. Another area that's covered under this is major automobile accident coverage. In case you're in an automobile accident and somebody's killed, there's things called vehicle homicide or vehicle manslaughter. If you get indicted for that, your insurance company is going to pay the limits of the bodily injury, the limits of the property damage, and they'll defend the civil lawsuit, but the criminal lawsuit involved in the accident is not covered by any automobile policy anywhere in North America. That means that your client is hung out to dry for that cost. And so what we do as a prepaid legal member, as long as the driver is licensed, properly insured, and that car is licensed, we'll take and cover that from beginning all the way to the end, as long as there's no alcohol or drugs involved for the driver. So coverage from beginning to end regarding that type of a matter. And that is a huge gap in automobile policies today that a prepaid legal plan will fill. So it helps keep your business on the books, and it helps take and protect your client against a catastrophe situation. And all you have to do is ask yourself, is it safer driving a car today than it was, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago? And we all know the answer to that. So this is important coverage to provide the client. Another thing that we do is protect against civil lawsuits. We cover civil lawsuits and job-related criminal lawsuits. And we start out with 75 hours in year one, and we increase that coverage and protection every single year through the first 5 years. So it grows up to 335 hours in coverage under that part of the program. So even though the benefit increases, we've never raised the rate to a member in the 39 years that Prepaid Legal has been in business. Fourth area is IRS coverage, and I can tell you this for a fact. That is a scary, scary moment when you're receiving a letter saying you're being audited by the IRS. Now, I sold this product to my son back when I first started. He was a 25-year-old college graduate selling pharmaceuticals, driving a company car, and he told me, Dad, I'll buy it just to protect my driving record, because if I get some tickets, I can not only lose my car, I'll lose my job. But little did we know, 2 years later, I get a call on a Friday night, and he called me to tell me that he had a letter from the IRS. And he's being audited for the last 2 years, and he said, Dad, what should I do? And I said, well, just fold it back up, stick it back in the envelope, get it out in the mail first thing Monday morning. He said, Dad, you gotta be kidding. And I said, well, sure I'm kidding. I said, but why are you calling me at 11 o'clock on Friday night to help you with an IRS problem? I said, I know less about it probably than you do. So the point is, You carry the same card I carry. Get on the phone with the law firm Monday morning. Lynn Ross is a board-certified tax attorney. Talk to him and let him help you out of this situation. He did that, solved a $5,000 issue for $400, but the most important thing, he said, that when they realized I had a lawyer, he said the whole attitude of that guy changed, and from that point on, they treated me like an old guy. And I guess when you're a 25-year-old guy, being treated like an old guy is a good thing. So that kind of gives you a little idea of the IRS side of the program. Now, we also take and cover you 24/7 in case of an emergency, and we also give you a 25% preferred member discount in case you have a situation where we have to go into the courthouse. Now, realize that not only do you get a 25% discount, but here's the biggest thing. Most of the problems that you hear about the legal industry is that the client wound up in the courthouse with the wrong attorney that didn't specialize in what he needed him for. And we're going to avoid that by making sure that you have an attorney that specializes in what you need him for to cover that part of the program for you. So, last thing is, in 2003, a company by the name of Kroll Background America came to Prepaid Legal and said, look, the identity theft world is going crazy. We've got a product that we have that can help. We'd like to take and put your law firms between them and the victims, and we'll take care of monitoring their credit reports to give an early warning in case of an identity theft issue. We not only cover the financial side of identity theft, but we also cover the other fast-growing areas of identity theft, which is employment identity theft, criminal identity theft.